I said it last week that for me personally, Helck Episode 1 was the second best new anime of this Summer 23 anime season. I put it right behind Zom 100, which anyone who's been following me covering that's a pretty big praise coming from me. And leaving Episode 2, I feel just as strongly. And honestly, I feel like despite only knowing Helck for a couple of short episodes, he feels like the most built different character I think I've ever met. And I mean, we're coming off of Mashle with One Punch Man going to Hogwarts. There's a lot of insane characters that we've seen recently and just across anime as a whole. But I mean, just the way he handles this competition of who's gonna be new Demon Lord, man. The fact that you have this lottery system of which steed you get for this race, and they rig it so he gets this cat thing, and obviously that thing ain't gonna be carrying him to victory. But the fact that he goes down, he like gives it a little pep talk, don't worry buddy, we got this. And then he sprints over top of it. That thing was actually pretty fast, all things considered, as long as he didn't have to haul his muscly ass around. And just seeing the antics that Helck goes through, you know this show's gonna get crazy. I mean, the establishing premise is apparently he killed his brother, who is the hero of the human realm. There's gotta be a misunderstanding or a deeper plot twist than just that. We have seemingly no humans. The little village they went to was pretty damn empty. We have heavenly invaders coming in that we're now going to fight. There is going to be some cautious hero level dark twists in the horizon, but as it stands, it is an insanely hilarious, fun twist on a demon hero story than you typically see. And I'm absolutely sold 10 out of 10. Now, full live reaction episode 2 of Helck is available on my Patreon if you would like to see my full uncut thoughts as I watch today's, honestly, even better episode than the first, in my opinion anyway, so it's over there if you're interested. I am loving this. I am so happy that it's 24 episodes. Now, I know the manga is completed. I imagine they're probably going to try for a complete adaptation. I already know some people are going to try to say, no, Brandon, there's too much content. 24 episodes isn't enough. They probably will. They're probably going for a full adaptation. Is everything going to be adapted 100%? No, but I always say I would much rather a complete story of something than rather than get maybe half of it and they never fully adapt it. I mean, the manga's there if we want to read it. I would just rather see something as complete as possible, and I'm hoping that's what they're going for. All I know is a show like this getting 24 episodes in general is kind of not something you see too much of. Yes, things get promoted and adapted more than ever, but 24 episodes of something like Helck, you would assume a production committee would want to fund the next Battle Shonen, not something like this, but I'm thankful we're getting it. Now, I've only seen a little discussion surrounding the production of this one, and based on episode 1 and a little of what I've seen of episode 2, I don't really think people are calling it ugly, but I do think it's a little harsher than it deserves. There's plenty of shots where you can look at the character model consistency and it does dip, but there's such a charm about the style of this one. I mean, He-Man going to the demon world to be in a competition is just, it's a funny premise in general, and I love the fact that they just nail an atmosphere that I can't find myself comparing to any anime as of late. The world itself, I mean, we're in a giant coliseum, and the general demons and creatures, we got the Easter Bunny in the background half the time. We have a man that's like 3 foot taller than Helck himself, and Helck's already menacing over everyone else, right? There is just a charm about this world, and I'm loving the direction. They have so many of my favorite VAs that are just voicing characters. Like, when Buddy comes in, I thought he was blind at first, and then I was like, oh no, he's like wearing a bandana or a mask of some sort, and he's just coughing up blood. He's basically dying here. He's saying, you know what? It's entirely plausible. Maybe he really just does hate humans, and this will be a good way to prove his loyalty. If not, here's this ring that's basically deep-throating itself. We'll put him on all the competitors, and we won't be able to hurt people. I'm convinced if Helck really wasn't here to help the demons, he could probably break through that ring. He does feel built different enough that he's too powerful, but I guess we'll see. The thing though that I think I'm going to really appreciate about this anime is that it's not just Helck as an insane personality. So he had kind of built a friendship, it felt like, in the first episode, but it's hard to tell if that was just maybe a healthy rivalry or if they're going to be buds. But when he's sprinting to the finish line, he's holding his mighty steed, and you have the girl and him, basically the first, second, and third place here. He gets off of his steed, and I was convinced he was just gonna roll backwards and fall and stumble. He sprinted. He kept up with Helck, and I think there's a lot you could theory craft about that moment because he was fast and he kept up with Helck. Now Helck, he sprinted the whole thing basically himself, so we could chalk that up to, well, he was already low on endurance, so that helped him keep up and almost get first place against Helck. But I do have to wonder though, because Helck, is this just him being a nice guy, or is this him saying, you know, if you would have done this from the start, I wouldn't have been able to keep up? I really don't know, because you wouldn't look at this guy, you'd think he's more of a meme character, but there's something there that I was like, you know what? Respect, bro. I was completely downplaying you. We're in a wacky races sort of situation, and what ends up happening, he looks at the majestic aura of Helck and he does exactly what he does. He gets off that steed and he sprints to the finish line. And honestly, respect. Now, Anne is an interesting character, Anne from management, because she wants nothing to do with Helck, right? And I completely see where she's coming from. Logically, objectively, her perception of Helck makes complete sense. And I love the idea that we don't know where her and Helck's relationship is going to go. Is it going to be the situation where she's feisty, wants nothing to do with him, but reluctantly has to accept Helck's help because he is literally their saving grace? Or is her assumptions and worry about him going to turn true and she'll be the one to say, I told you so, as everything is up in flames? We don't know. There was a moment right at the very end when he's basically looking at her, and then he starts like going off being like, oh, you're the same girl as the food tasting competition, right? But there was a look, there was a glare, and I can't tell, was that a red herring? Does he want something to do with her? Does he hate her secretly? Or was this just a misdirect? I don't know. But that handshake gives me some tense vibes, and I'm interested to see what they do. Now, last episode ends with Heaven kind of coming in, these heavenly forces, and not a lot happens with them in this episode, but they do start, obviously, episode 3's plot with us seemingly attacking them. Now, I don't know why they're here. What their purpose is it because Helck's here? Is it for a different reason? We really don't know, but there's a lot of uncertainty. Like, it's going to have comedy, but you know things are gonna hit the fan probably sooner rather than later. But either way, behind that smile, behind that positivity, there's a lot of darkness, it seems like, that's hidden deep down inside, and I don't know where we want to go with this. And I think that's what makes it so special to me, is I can meme it, I can laugh, I can have fun with the ridiculousness, but the concept of the world and the characters' histories has so much more potential than almost anything else this season, and I can understand why manga readers were so keen on begging me to watch this when I was, you know, like even before I made my What Will I Watch video, I was having people say, Helck, 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 and I was gonna sleep on it because I didn't think it looked like anything that interesting at face value. But man, was I wrong. I'm liking the production style. I think it's got a very unique charm. The characters are fantastic. Even side characters I thought were going to be one and done. And honestly, they got some pretty good hooks in right now. So I'm 100% in for this 24 episode ride. But what about you? Let me know down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new around here. Ring that bell so you can get notified when I upload more Helck to the channel. And hey, like I mentioned, full live reaction to this wonderful second episode is available on my Patreon if you're interested. And while you're there, you can also get a video shout out. So today we have Richard Diaz, Lelouch XCC, Mirza 00023, and Destiny Richards. So I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care and have a good one.